Things that surprises me when I get emails from new entrepreneurs all the time is they'll say, I'm just surprised. It's so much tougher than I thought it was going to be. And when you're new at this, a lot of times, you get these dreams in your mind. It's going to be a fast building business and you're going to move really quickly and make a lot of money. It's just going to happen overnight. And any seasoned entrepreneur with the scars to prove it will tell you that almost never does it happen like that. Usually it takes longer, it costs more money, it's more stressful, there's more rejection than you realized, there's more challenges than you realized, there's much more to it than you realized. And the difference is when you expect the fight, you're not surprised by it. When you expect it to be a fight, you're not surprised by all the challenges and the rejection and people criticizing you and all the different things that happen, and you get short on cash and it takes way longer than you thought it was going to take, and all the things that all seasoned entrepreneurs understand. And that's kind of what I want to get across today is expect the fight. It's coming to you, and it's probably going to be tougher than you think. Now, again, I know this goes against a lot of conventional personal development stuff where people say, oh, well, just dream big, think big, and it'll happen. Well, that's not the real world. Not the real world as 99% of entrepreneurs experience it. If you're Elon Musk or you're Richard Branson or someone like that, well, God bless you. There's not too many people out there like that have these seemingly instant successes. Most of us that are mere mortals have to fight the fight. And it's way tougher than having a job. It's way tougher than having a career. You're building this from scratch usually. And the upside of it is you're tough enough, if you're mentally tough enough to take it, to push through the fight, to push through the worry and the struggle and the long hours and the rejection and all the other things that come along with being an entrepreneur, well, then you can write your own ticket. You can live a life that most people only see in movies. The upside is unbelievable. It's fulfillment, it's respect, it's pride, it's money, it's success, it's all these great things if you're cut out to be an entrepreneur that you're going to experience when you win the game. In the meantime, you're just in the fight. That's why mental toughness is the skill. There's nothing else even close that psychologically that is as important as mental toughness. And that's why, one, you want to expect the fight. You want to expect it to happen. Expect it to be much tougher. Don't expect the business to be smooth sailing, because then when it's not, you won't be surprised. You'll be waiting for the fight. Maybe it'll be easier than you think. I doubt it. It almost never. I built 4 multi-million-dollar businesses from scratch, and they were all way harder to build than I thought they'd be. And that's very typical. That's a normal entrepreneurial experience. So to help you do this, of course, I have this blog. I have all my books out. I have 11 books out there. And hopefully you've read some of my books or you'll read some of my books in the future. But to help you really fast start your entrepreneurial career, or to really push it forward if it's not as far along as you want it to be, I'm starting up Mental Toughness University for entrepreneurs and success coaches. A lot of success coaches follow my work and my books and that kind of thing. I get a lot of response from people in that industry because I've done that for a long time as well. And entrepreneurs, of course, are the number one customer of mental toughness training. Why? Because you have to be mentally tough to be an entrepreneur. There's no way you will make it to any serious degree without mental toughness. So I'm starting up a coaching program for mental toughness training for entrepreneurs and success coaches. It's going to be starting up in July, and I'll be talking more about this, but it's going to be a coaching program with video training like we've done for the biggest corporations in the world, Olympic athletes, professional sports teams, you name it. We've done business all over the world in this topic for 30 years, as you probably know. And so now I'm bringing it in this group coaching program for a price that anyone that's serious can afford. The same training we've charged millions of dollars for in corporate America and corporations around the world, for that matter. You're going to get for a fraction of the cost. So I'll be updating you on that in the next couple of weeks. But just remember, as you're going through your entrepreneurial venture, don't expect it to be easy. It's kind of like when people want to be public speakers and they'll talk to some kind of new or third-rate public speaking coach, and the public speaking coach will say, or a book will say, pretend the audience all loves you and they're on your side when you're practicing. That's the worst advice you could get. Don't expect that. Don't expect the audience to love you. Expect the audience to hate what you're saying. Expect the audience to sit there with their arms folded like this, not paying attention, checking their watch, looking at their phone, reading their, text messaging people while you're talking. Because if you expect the worst, you'll practice harder. And you won't be surprised if you get the worst, because sometimes you do. Then you're tough. Then you're prepared. And then if they're good, that's a bonus. If they're not, you're ready for the fight. You have to be prepared for the fight. This is the real world. This is not some fantasy you see on The Secret, or some fantasy where things are just gonna, money's just gonna flow in your pocket because you start a business. This is the rough and tumble world of business, of entrepreneurship. You got to be mentally tough to make it. If you're mentally tough enough, you've got a shot. If you're not, you have no shot. That's why most people fail. It's not because they don't have a good business idea. It's because they're not mentally tough enough. And a lot of it's expectation, frankly. That's what I've seen in 30 years of working with entrepreneurs and being an entrepreneur myself. It really makes the difference. All things being equal, mental toughness makes a difference. So think about expectation and expect the fight. I'll see you next time.